Okay, good morning. It is Wednesday, May 5th. The market is just about to open here, about 14 seconds. And a couple of things that we can take a look at. So right here at the open, there's a couple of things that need to get through this 80.75, and then just above that we have 82.50 right here. And then this 8675 is a CP today, but if you remember, we talked about that a lot um, in the last week or so. So let's see. So that's kind of the first things to get through. And then it would be good if they did a little bit more than sort of probe above 8675. So but if we can get above 86.75 with strength and hold up above there, that'd be the first good sign. Let me show you. We'll come back and we'll talk about a little bit higher than that, but for the time being, there's a couple of things here. We have this CP was tested, so I don't necessarily love that. So we have really the most aggressive would be something like right here, like 74.75. That's pretty aggressive. It's basically chasing it, and I'm not sure if that's this kind of market yet. Um, and then we have the 73, which is also extremely aggressive, but we could see that, um, we could see that hold up here. And then let's see. So then we also have. Oh, my time is all weird. So uh, okay, yeah. So this area, this 73, 74, 75. Just kind of keep an eye on that. And then we have the CP. I don't love that it was already tested here. And then below that, let's just talk about a couple of things. So below that would be pretty likely that they would want to come back here. And you see right here when it came into 74, 75, and you see it kind of just hesitates for a little bit. And I don't know what that's going to turn, if it's going to turn into anything, but you can see that hesitation. I'm pointing that out just from a trade management perspective. So you just kind of see that hesitation. That can be an indication of, yeah, there you go. So now it looks like they're going to come back through it. But what you're looking for is you want to see is, a little bit of hesitation. This is just really aggressive. So could work, but it's extremely aggressive. So down here, notice there's this gigantic gap down here. It's not at all impossible that we come back down and test these lower prices, especially if we hold here or here. If we're holding up at 86.75 or 94. And just while we're up here and we're talking about it, between here and here, there's so much going on. Probably the best way that you could think about it would be to take your fib retracement tool and draw this in like that and just think these are all basically prices. It's a lot going on. If the market reacts, if it kind of ignores all that when it gets up there, that's fine. But we'll just have to see. So if this doesn't hold, this has already been tested. The last thing that would be here would be like this midpoint, this 70, maybe what is that, 70 half, I think. 73 quarters. But it's not impossible that we could test this a second time. Could come down here and test this, not out of the question. But this was, notice right here, blew right through it and never came back down here. Same way when this happened yesterday, where we had, where was it? It was 60 right here. It was just above 60, and you see how I'll just throw a line on there. See how they zoomed through this and then came back up to test it over here? So Same kind of thing, zoomed through it and haven't been back to test it. I'd be surprised if at some point here we don't come back in here and test this. But there's a lot of work to do. So the 73 area, this to me does not look like the kind of reaction that you want to see off of 73. That's my thought about it so far. I don't love this. This is something that I'd pay attention to. So basically you had this kind of, I would call this a demand. First of all, if you look over here, this is very intriguing. And then you look over here, this is kind of a demand area. They came into here and traded. So that's been used up there. And I would look at this now. So this would be stuff kind of this would be a thing to get through. It's a little bit. I know it's really close to here, but it's a different zone between 61.50 and 60 quarter. So I'd just be watching this if they come down in here, especially if they come down here right now. I think that that's what we're going to see. So I think we will see some kind of a reaction out of here. Maybe just back up to test these prices if they do that. So, but then I mean, you could do this, but I'm telling you that what you would likely expect is that they're going to come back down here and test this or this. They're gonna they blew through it and they're gonna want to come back down here and test it. I mean, it's just I've seen it time and time and time again. So at some point, I'm expecting that they're going to come down and test this. I'm not, um, overly stuck on that or something, but it is there in the back of my mind if things are breaking down. There's a lot of trading that happened in here, so this would probably be if they can get through here, it would get us back down into here. And then if we're really grasping for straws, then it would be something like here, something like that. And then here, obviously what I drew in, but I erased it. Those are the areas I'd look at in here in this gap and prediction points. And then down here. But I would just be surprised if at some point they don't come back in here to test this. Okay, so that just, I guess, that's my take on how I'm looking at things here. So let's see here. Pretty decent reaction here. I would want to see them get back above 73 or even back above 74, 75-ish if they're going to push this thing back up higher. So we'll just see. So, okay, well, if I guess we'll talk, yeah, I didn't plan on talking about this, but just so you have I mean, I really wouldn't want to take this out by much. If they did, bigger picture, probably 4100's back on the table. Okay, so the point of this is really to give you something that you can use in the morning session here, and then go from there. So if they take out 74.75 again over here on a bounce, then I would be looking for, okay, can they continue that push higher? And it's a little tricky up here because it's a little bit tight. There's only room to about 80 or 82.50 and then 86. So there is some room. So we'll just kind of have to see, how that all works out. So I'll be back doing a review today and hope it is a good day for you. Just take it one step at a time. Trade what the market gives you. And I'll see you in the review video later today. Thanks for tuning in today. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe now so you get notified when we do these.